September 11th, 2001, also known as 9/11. Terrorism. Terrorism is when someone uses violence against innocent people to try to achieve a political goal. The September 11 terrorist attacks were one of the most infamous terrorist attacks in history because more than 2,000 people died. September 11th, 2001. September 11th, 2001, also known as 9/11, was the largest terrorist attack in American history. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, several terrorists hijacked 4 airplanes. They flew 2 of them into 2 of the world's tallest buildings at the World Trade Center in New York City. Another plane smashed into the Pentagon building, the National Defense Headquarters in Washington, D.C. Passengers on the 4th plane fought with the terrorist and it crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. More than 2,000 people died that day. Osama bin Laden. A terrorist group known as Al-Qaeda, which was led by Osama bin Laden, carried out the attacks. Osama bin Laden planned the attacks. He was killed on May 2, 2011, in his secret home in Pakistan by a team of United States Navy SEALs. Here's the field where the 3rd plane was forced down by the passengers. George W. Bush. President George W. Bush was the 43rd President of the United States from 2001 to 2009. He was president during the terrorist attack on September 11, 2001. He committed to a war on terrorism in response to what happened on that day. The impact of 9/11. The war on terrorism. Find the terrorist and capture or kill them. The creation of the Department of Homeland Security. Get the terrorists out of the United States and prevent them from getting in. Stricter airport security. Long lines, pat-downs, full body scans, and limits on what you can take on a flight. Big surveillance. The U.S. government increased phone and web surveillance in order to investigate possible terrorist activity. War on terrorism, 2001 to the present. Besides finding the people responsible for attacking America, President Bush wanted to prevent terrorist activities all over the world. The war on terrorism will be different from other long wars and will last a long time. Unlike other wars in our country's history, this war was not fought against a particular country, but was fought against terrorists wherever they lived. The United States military moved into Afghanistan in order to look for Osama bin Laden and for members of his terrorist group Al-Qaeda. The military destroyed many terrorist camps there, but did not capture Osama bin Laden. The main portion of Al-Qaeda's terrorist group was headquartered in Afghanistan. So most people think of the war in Afghanistan as being the war on terrorism. In reality, we are not fighting against Afghanistan, but the Afghan government partnered with our military to help take out the terrorist groups that were hiding out in their country. If it is terrorism, if it is war on terror, then the Afghan people will join you on terror. That is the president of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai. The results of the war on terrorism. It took 10 years, but Osama bin Laden was finally found and killed in 2011. Many other terrorist leaders have been captured or killed. In 2014, ISIS became a well-known terrorist organization in Iraq and Syria. Many in the United States government have debated whether or not the United States should continue to be involved in Iraq and fight against ISIS. The war on terrorism is still continuing to this day. Saddam Hussein was the dictator of Iraq during the Persian Gulf War and the Iraq War. Saddam Hussein tried to take over Kuwait in 1990 and 91, but was stopped by the United States and their coalition. This was the Persian Gulf War. The Iraq War, 2003 to 2011. The Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein was helping terrorists. He also refused to cooperate with the United Nations when they wanted to send inspectors to Iraq to look for powerful weapons. The United States government was afraid he would give those weapons to terrorists. Since the United States suspected Iraq of trying to develop weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapons, they invaded Iraq. Troops from the United States and other nations entered Iraq in March of 2003. With all their new technology, the United States military easily defeated Iraq. The Iraq government fell quickly, and Hussein was captured in December of 2003. Iraq was now free from a brutal dictator. Many soldiers remained in Iraq to help establish a new democratic government. Then Iraq turned to civil war, with two different groups trying to gain power after Saddam Hussein, the leader, was removed. It was for this reason the United States had to stay and play the role of peacekeeper for 8 more years, trying to help establish a new government. The United States never did find nuclear weapons, But they did find that Hussein had done many terrible things to the people in his own country. The United States withdrew its last troops in 2011. Since that time, the terrorist group ISIS has taken control of part of the country, sending Iraq back into civil war. President Barack Obama decided to withdraw U.S. troops from Iraq. The United States withdrew its last troops in 2011. Since that time, the terrorist group ISIS has taken control of part of the country, sending Iraq back into civil war. Hussein was captured and tried in an Iraqi court and found guilty of many crimes against his own people. He was executed in 2006. That's the hole where they found him hiding. Last but not least, have a nice day.